time to take some of my own advice. So, after having helped over 1,200 students achieve much better GCSE maths results, what's funny is we have found that there is no correlation whatsoever between their results, their grade increases, and how long they stay or how much they like it. None of that, which is wild to me. And really, what people stay for, they turn up because they want better grades, right? That's what gets them through the door, but they stay because they feel better. They enjoy the time of the actual sessions that we're doing, and then they leave feeling like they have done something positive, right? Whatever the reason is, but it's got nothing to do with their actual result. Personally, I find that a bit bizarre, but maybe I'm a little bit spicy. And so I was just thinking about this in terms of hiring people and saying, when I have trained a sales team, making them better, achieving better results and them earning more money hasn't affected how long they have then stayed with us. And it hasn't affected how much they like the job. Which, again, I find really weird. Because if I'm learning and I'm getting better and I see results and I'm earning more money, for me, that's a very real reinforcing thing. But it doesn't seem to be for most people who are willing to trade their time for a 9 to 5, honestly. And so what I'm thinking of doing is, Millie had the idea, I'm not taking full credit, is having a weekly meeting at least with the team and having time on with them. And it could just be working on one thing, one small thing. I'm not trying to the goal of this is not actually to make them better, right? Because we have noticed that doesn't actually change their results that much of how well they do, nor the time that they actually stay with us. But what I want to have this check-in is this feel of, I'm not alone, I'm part of a team, there's the camaraderie, and I am making progress, regardless of if they are actually making progress. Just having that check-in that I've worked on this thing. And what's funny is, just like with maths or with anything, if you walk in having feel like you have prepared and you feel confident, you will be more confident, which is utterly bizarre. It's like a drug and a placebo effect. Hey, this drug actually doesn't do anything, but 15% of cases heal much faster. For no reason. This is just nothing. But I have touched you, congratulations, some of you will be better. And it's essentially that, it's a placebo effect. And so I'm thinking of, how can I get this maximum effective dose for the minimum time put in, so that we get the best team possible and increase the leverage as much as possible. And I think this might be one of the ways to do that. And it feels really counterintuitive, and I'm not sure if it's actually going to work or what the deal is, but I can tell you everything I've tried before hasn't worked. So to try the same thing again feels quite painful. And to give you an example, we had one of our first ever sales guy we hired for the role. I cannot tell you how much time of my life I spent training him, and he went from a self-certified nerd to someone who was described by customers as charismatic, and he did not believe me when I said that we had this piece of feedback. He said, no one's ever said that. I showed it to him and he still didn't believe it. It was crazy. Who went from literally couldn't sell anything to having one of our best weeks ever recorded in the entire company, by like a double. And he couldn't hack staying with us because of the sheer volumes of no's that he got. It just didn't match with him. But he was putting in the most reps and the most effort, etc., compared to another one of our sales guys who is not the best performer and hasn't had the training, but for some reason has stuck around for 4 times as long. Not achieving well, not progressing, also, and it's like, these two things just don't add up in my brain. Not earning lots of money, and I don't get how it works, but it's just making me think something needs to change to be better, to be more optimal. So this might be it. Fingers crossed. Catch you guys later. Peace.